Good evening, this is TCN English News Edition, and you're watching with me, Ninghoy Kim Kong Sai. First, the headlines. Kuki top bodies condemns alleged ambush attempt on Kuki civilians, calls for central government intervention. Leave Kuki areas or be ousted. Kuki volunteers warn Mayday militants. HTC rebut against the Chronicle News report on Uyghur South visit to Moreh. News in detail. A clash between Kuki people and Mayday thugs in Kochuk, Imphal West District, Manipur has resulted in the death of a woman and injuries to several others. The incident occurred on the German road, also known as the Lamka Kangpokpi Road, around 6:30 p.m. yesterday, when Kochuk caught fire. According to Manipur Secretariat Home Department, Mayday thugs attacked Kuki people with drones and bombs, killing Ngangbam Surbala, 35 years, and injuring several others. The Manipur Secretariat Home Department has issued a press release stating that the state government will take necessary action to control the situations and apprehend those responsible. The Kuki MP, Manipur KIM and Committee on Tribal Unity (KOTU) have condemned the attack, calling it a pre-planned move by Mayday thugs to disturb peace in the region. The injured include Rosia Ngambam, 11 years, Robert Ngasipam, 27, Hegrujam Thadoy, 20 years, and Ilangbam Musuk. Robert Ngasipam is a DIG Range 1 escort personnel, and Ilangbam Musuk is a local TV channel reporter. The KIM has demanded action against Mayday radical groups and the state government's failure to protect the Kuki people, warning of further actions if the center does not intervene. The incident has created tensions in the region, and the KIM has urged the center to take necessary actions to protect the Kuki people, declaring that all those who want peace must condemn the Manipur government's absconded behavior. With this regard, the Kuki MP has strongly condemned a calculated ambush attempt on Kuki civilians along the Kangui-Lamka road. The incident, which took place around 2 p.m. in the Kangchup region of Sadar Hills, involved a heavy exchange of fire between Kuki volunteers and combined forces of Arambai Tengol, Valley Basin Insurgent Groups, VBIGs, and Mayday State Forces. The Kuki top body accused the state government of complicity in the ongoing assaults on Kuki civilians, highlighting that these attacks continue unabated and seemingly with official sanction. The organization pointed to the use of mortar bombs as evidenced by circulated videos and pictures on social media as a clear indication of violence being perpetrated. The statement further referenced a leaked audio tape of Manipur Chief Minister Ambaran Singh, in which he allegedly endorsed the use of bombs against the Kuki people. This attempted ambush is an attack on our right to exist peacefully in our own land, Kuki MP stated. It exposes the ongoing failure and, more disturbingly, the open conspiracy of the Manipur state government and VBIGs to further the genocide against the Kuki people. Kuki MP has called on the central government to take immediate and decisive action against the state government's complicity in these atrocities, along with the radical Mayday militia groups. The state government emphasized the urgent need for interventions to halt what it describes as an ethnic cleansing campaign against the Kuki minority. Despite the continued aggressions, Kuki MP declared that the Kuki people remain resolute in protecting their land, people, and rights. The organization reaffirmed its commitment to resisting these attacks and demanding justice, peace, and security for the Kuki people. We will not be intimidated by these acts of aggressions. We call on all peace-loving citizens to stand with us in condemning these atrocities and to join us in demanding justice for the Kuki people, the statement concluded. The Committee on Tribal Unity is dismayed at the PR issued by State Home Department, whereby the incident at Kotuk seems to have drawn the only attention of the state administration throughout the entire conflict, where drones, bombs, and sophisticated weapons were incessantly used by the Meitei militants and VBIGs. The Kuki community have been fervently stating that the Meitei militants and its subsidiary agencies such as the Zarambai Tango have been using drones, using bombs, payloads, and government standard to wage murder against the civilians durations the entire conflict, which was also confirmed by the Chief Minister Biren Singh's candid admission to his involvement on the audio record, which went viral on national news TV channels. This prescriptive policy by the state administration to appease the Valley community by implicating the Kuki as terrorists who are defending and resorting to preemptive measures to thwart an ambush on Kangpokpi, Churchampu route by the Meitei militants and the Meitei armed militias on 1st September 2024 around 2 p.m. is biased and insensitive assessment of situation. Moreover, the mainstream TV news channels are appealed to verify their news source or reporters from both sides before airing their news for fair and balanced reporters. Therefore, any such attempt to indulge in combined operations by the order of the Commissioner, Home Government of Manipur dated 1st September 2024 will be vehemently opposed by the Kuki community. In a powerful video released late Sunday, Kuki village volunteers were Meitei militants occupying Kuki areas to leave immediately or face direct action. The video featuring a Kuki village volunteer leader condemned Manipur Chief Minister Biren Singh's calls for peace, accusing him of ignoring ongoing violence as Meitei militants launched daily ambushes on the Kangpokpi-Churchampu road. "We are not fools, and we will not be deceived," the leader asserted. The Kuki village volunteer leader highlighted that Meitei militants continue to occupy strategic Kuki areas, including Satang and Sinamkom in Kangpokpi district, along with parts of Churchampu and Tinopal districts.
Meitei militants are laying ambush every day in Kangpokpi, Churchampu road, and Chief Minister of Manipur, Biren Singh, is talking about peace, and we are not fool. There are Meitei militants till now in Kuki areas, like in Satang, Sinamkom, in Kangpokpi district, and in Churchampu and in Tinopal district as well. If they don't leave within 3 days, Kuki Joe village volunteer will kick them out.
Issuing a stark warning, he declared that if the militants do not vacate these territories within 3 days, the Kuki village volunteers will act decisively to oust them and reclaim their land. It is absolutely normal and conventional on the part of info-based Manipuri media houses to report their own manipulated and baseless news. In order to avoid chaos and misunderstanding from the public, the Hill Tribe Council Moray is obligated to issue a rebuttal against the Chronicle newspaper report saying that HTC president has expressed willingness to facilitate the return and resettlement of Meitei community in Moray, which is totally unacceptable and malignant. The statement further said the meeting that was attended by HTC and major civil society organizations like KIT, KCA, and KWU and HR was to simply facilitate the visiting Eager South accompanied by the IZ-26 sector, wherein everyone expressed their immediate desire to expedite the Kuki political solution prior to anything. The Hill Tribal Council strongly advised the info-based media houses and Chronicle newspaper in particular to learn media ethics and be pragmatic and not taste the Hill Tribal Council again. HTC reiterated its stance on the present conflict, which can only be solved with Kuki political settlement, without which peace and development means nothing.
Regarding the fake news that was spread by reported by the Chronicle News, I think that is a Valley-based news agency. And HTC is, the Hill Tribal Council more is obligated today to clarify on that. It is absolutely normal and conventional on the part of Imphal-based Manipuri media houses to report their own manipulated and baseless news. But in order to avoid chaos and misunderstanding from the public, the Hill Tribal Council More is obligated to issue a rebuttal against the Chronicle newspaper report, stating that HTC President has expressed willingness to facilitate the return and resettlement of Meitei community in More, which is totally unacceptable and malignant. The same meeting that was attended by Hill Tribal Council and major civil society organizations like Kuki MP Tenopal, Kuki Chief Association, Tenopal District, and Kuki Women Union and Human Rights was to simply facilitate the visiting IG Assam Rifles South, who was accompanied by DIG 26 Sector, where everyone expressed their immediate desire to expedite the Kuki-Zo political solution prior to anything. So the Hill Tribal Council strongly advised the Imphal-based media houses and the Chronicle newspaper in particular to learn media ethics and be pragmatic and not test the Hill Tribal Council again. Hill Tribal Council reiterate its stand on the present conflict, which can only be solved with Kuki-Zo political settlement, without which peace and development means nothing to us. Therefore, HTC will not entertain such meeting anymore in future until and unless proper clarification is made by the Valley-based Chronicle News Service. Thank you.
Therefore, HTC will not entertain such meeting anymore in future until and unless proper clarification is made by the Valley-based Chronicles News Service, added the statement. As per resolution number 4 of Chandel Kuki-Zo Joint CSO's meeting held on 30/8/2024, the Kuki MP Chandel has decided to shut down all business and trade activities in Chandel district starting from September 3rd, 2024 Tuesday until further notice. This decision has been taken due to ongoing issues with line tax in the district. The Kuki MP Chandel has tried to resolve these issues amicably, but to no avail. The shutdown will continue until the issues are resolved. The Kuki MP Chandel appeals to the public to cooperate and support this decision. The line tax issue has been a long-standing problem, and it is essential to find a solution to avoid further complications. The public is requested to bear with us during this difficult time. Anyone who fails to comply with this decision will be held responsible and necessary actions will be taken. September 13 is observed as Kuki Black Day, commemorating the tragic events of 1993. Due to recent Meitei aggressions on May 3, 2023, the Kuki community is still reeling from the aftermath. Therefore, the Kuki MP Manipur KIM has issued guidelines for the observance of Kuki Black Day on September 13, 2024. September 13, 2024 will be observed as a day to remember God and do good deeds. The Kuki Christian Leaders Forum KCLF will organize prayer service in all churches, and the Council Kuki Worship Service CKWS will hold special services in all Kuki Worship Service centers. September 13 will be commemorated as a day of prayer, and KCLF will provide prayer items for the observance. The Kuki Nampi Tauna KNT will organize a program for displaced people staying at relief camps affected by the Meitei aggressions. The observance of Kuki Black Day will be a solemn occasion, and the display of banners and placards will not be allowed. These guidelines are issued for observance of Kuki Black Day on September 13, 2024. The KIM requests all Kukis to observe this day with solemnity and dignity. The Kuki Students Organization KSO Cedar Hills has expressed strong dissatisfaction with the actions of Senapati District Students Association SDSA during a peaceful public rally in Cedar Hills, Kangpokpi District. KSO Cedar Hills has said that it has notified SDSA on August 30 about the rally scheduled for the following day, which the SDSA had acknowledged. However, SDSA later issued a late-night press release on August 30 requesting KSO Cedar Hills to refrain from holding the rally in areas they claim as under SDSA's jurisdiction. KSO Cedar Hills rejected SDSA's jurisdictional claim, stating that the SDSA's authority is confined to Senapati District and does not extend to Kangpokpi. Despite this, KSO Cedar Hills respected SDSA's request by ensuring no slogans were raised when passing through Naga villages during the rally. The situation escalated when SDSA leaders physically blocked the national highway at Tumnopokpi village, obstructing the peaceful rally. Despite this disruption, KSO Cedar Hills successfully maintained order, preventing any violence. In a statement, KSO Cedar Hills questioned the SDSA's neutrality in the ongoing Kuki-Meitei conflict, suggesting that the SDSA's actions appear to align with the policies of Manipur Chief Minister Biren Singh. KSO Cedar Hills emphasized the importance of peaceful coexistence and understanding between communities, hoping that shared values would lead to lasting peace. 26 National Disaster Response Force and the IAF teams are being deployed for flood relief and rescue operations in Telangana and Andhra Pradesh, officials said on Monday. While 12 teams are already deployed in 2 neighboring states, 40 more are being dispatched, they said. Out of 14 teams, 8 are being airlifted from various locations across the country, the officials said. The NDRF teams are equipped with inflatable boats, pole and tree cutters and basic medical aid tools, they said. Torrential rain battered the 2 states for the second consecutive day, resulting in at least 10 more fatalities, flooding and water lodging in several areas, and disruptions to road and rail traffic on Sunday. As many as 99 trains were cancelled, 4 trains were partially cancelled, and 54 were diverted due to heavy rains and water lodging over tracks at multiple locations on the South Central Railway Network and SCR officials said. Rivers in both states were inspected and thousands of people were evacuated by national and state disaster response forces from flooded areas to relief camps. Prime Minister Narendra Modi and Union Home Minister Amit Shah spoke to Andhra Pradesh Chief Minister and Chandrababu Naidu and Telangana CM A. Revant Reddy and assured them of all possible help from the central government to deal with rains and floods. The Indian Air Force IAF on Sunday got its new Deputy Chief as Air Marshal Tejinder Singh took over as Deputy Chief of Air Staff DCAS at Air Headquarters Vayu Bhawan. He is replacing Air Marshal Asutosh Dixit, who has been appointed as new Air Officer Commanding-in-Chief AOIC-in-C of Central Air Command. The role of DCAS will be significant, keeping his role in aiding to the combat power with the combat squadrons hovering around 30 with the sanction being 42. The IAF said, after the assumption of his new appointment, the Air Marshal paid homage to the brave hearts who gave the supreme sacrifice by laying a wreath at the National War Memorial, New Delhi. Air Marshal Singh, an alumnus of the National Defense Academy, NDA, was commissioned in the fighter stream of the IAF on June 13, 1987. As the new DCAS, he will be part of important principal staff officers of the force mandated to steer the future force structure, as he will primarily deal with planning future procurements, managing current projects, dealing with revenue and capital procurement, said a source. Capital procurement covers expenditure on the acquisitions of new weapons and ammunition and replacement of obsolete stores. He is one of the 6 principal staff officers PSO of the force, while the Chief of Air Staff CAS exercises operational and administrative control of the Indian Air Force. He is assisted by 6 PSOs, including the Vice Chief of Air Staff, DCAS, Air Officer Maintenance AOM, Air Officer Maintenance AOP, Air Officer Maintenance AOA, and Director General Inspections and Safety, DZINS. IAF stated the Air Marshal is a category, a qualified flying instructor with over 4,500 hours of flying, and alumnus of Defense Service Staff College and National Defense College. He has commanded a fighter squadron, a radar station, a premier fighter base, and was Air Officer commanding Jammu and Kashmir. His various staff appointments include operational staff at a command HQ, Air Commodore Personnel Officers 1 at Air HQ, Deputy Assistant Chief of Integrated Defense Staff, Financial Planning at HQ IDS, Air Commodore, Aerospace Safety, Assistant Chief of Air Staff Operations Offensive, and ACAS Operations Strategy at Air Headquarters. Before his present appointment, he was the Senior Air Staff Officer, HQ Stand Air Command of IAF at Shillong, Meghalaya, said IAF. President Draupadi Murmu unveiled a new flag at an insignia for the Supreme Court to commemorate its 75th anniversary in the national capital on Sunday. President Murmu graced the valedictory sessions of the 2-day National Conference of District Judiciary organized by the Supreme Court of India. She emphasized that there are many challenges before the judiciary that will require coordinated efforts by all stakeholders to be resolved, informed an official released. Addressing the gathering, the President said that since its establishment, the Supreme Court of India has made an invaluable contribution as a vigilant sentinel of the judicial system of the world's largest democracy. Indian jurisprudence has a very respectable place because of the Supreme Court. She appreciated the contributions of all present and past people associated with Indian judiciary. She was happy to know that on the completion of 75 years of its establishment, the Supreme Court has organized many programs that have increased people's trust and attachment towards our judicial system. The President stated the feeling of faith and reverence towards justice has been a part of our tradition. She referred to her address on previous occasions and reiterated people considered every judge in the country as God. The President stated in recent years there have been significant improvement in the availability of infrastructure, facilities, training, and human resources of the judiciary at district level, but a lot remains to be done in all these areas. She affirmed confidence that the rapid progress will continue on all dimensions of reform. The President stated pendency and backlog of cases are big challenges before the judiciary. She stressed the need to ponder the serious issues of cases remaining pending for as long as over 32 years. She emphasized that programs such as Special Lock Adalat Week should be organized more frequently and said that this will help in tackling the pendency of cases. President Murmu also expressed her happiness while noting that many aspects related to case management were discussed in one of the sessions of this conference. She expressed confidence that these discussions will yield practical results. The President stated the Constitution provides for the power and responsibilities of the legislative and executive bodies at the local level through panchayats and municipalities. She asked if we could think of a justice system at a local level equivalent to this and stated that making arrangements to provide justice in the local language and local conditions can help in achieving the ideal of taking justice to everyone's doorstep, the release stated. Russian president has gifted 24 purebred horses to North Korean leader Kim Jong-un in exchange for artillery shells used in the Ukraine war, report says on Sunday. 19 stallions and 5 mares of Orlov Trota breed, said to be Kim's favorite, arrived in Russia on Sunday as per shell payment for North Korean artillery shells sent to Russia amid the ongoing conflict with Ukraine. The Times reported. 2 years ago, Pyongyang also received 30 Orlov Trotters, and Kim was seen riding a white horse in a propaganda video. Kim's picture riding a white stallion on Mount Paktu during a snowfall released by state media in 2019 attracted significant attention on the internet. The horse Kim rode also symbolized North Korea's heritage, as the country name is both 1950 to 1953 Korean War economic recovery effort after the mythical winged horse, Kolima. One of North Korea's rocket boosters is also named Kolima-1. According to analysts who talked to news agency Reuters, the imaginary of Kim Street, a white stallion, was designed to instill confidence in North Koreans that they have a mantle of strength and destiny holding the reins of power. Putin has also been famously photographed riding a brown horse while wearing wrap-around sunglasses, a gold chain, and army trousers. In June, Kim gifted Putin a pair of Pungshan dogs, a local breed of hunting dog, as the bond between the two leaders appears to be growing stronger lately, amid increased diplomatic steps, including the signing of a comprehensive partnership agreement. Putin also gifted Kim 447 goats in August. Rescuers found 17 bodies Sunday after a tourist helicopter crashed in Russia's remote Kamchatka Peninsula. The aircraft went down with 22 people on board, including 19 tourists and 3 crew members. The helicopter, operated by Kamchatka-based Vityaz Aero, disappeared shortly after taking off Saturday, according to regional authorities. Rescuers found 17 bodies Sunday after a tourist helicopter crashed in Russia's remote Kamchatka Peninsula. The aircraft went down with 22 people on board, including 19 tourists and 3 crew members. The helicopter, operated by Kamchatka-based Vityaz Aero, disappeared shortly after taking off Saturday, according to regional authorities. The Russian Emergencies Ministry said efforts to locate the remaining occupants are ongoing. All those who were on board the helicopter are presumed dead. The crash is believed to have been caused by poor visibility and adverse weather conditions, Russian state news agency RIA Novosti reported, citing the Emergencies Ministry. The helicopter was discovered early Sunday morning in a hilly area at an altitude of 900 meters. Kamchatka Governor Vladimir Solodov said in a video posted on Telegram. The wreckage of the previously missing helicopter was discovered from the air, the Emergencies Ministry wrote on Telegram. Aerial footage released by Russia's Emergency Situations Ministry saw debris on a slope near the top of a wooded hill. The ministry noted that the aircraft was found close to locations where it disappeared from radar. It took off near the Vachakats volcano but failed to reach its destination, according to Russia's Federal Air Transport Agency. Ivan Lemenkov, a ministry official, said, "At this moment, we have already found 17 bodies." He added, rescuers have set up camp and the search has halted until daybreak. The two-engined helicopter, a Soviet-designed Mi-8, is commonly used for transport in Russia's Far Eastern region, which is sparsely populated and challenging to access, where crashes have been frequent. In August 2021, a Mi-8 helicopter crashed into a lake in Kamchatka due to poor visibility, killing 8 of the 16 people on board. In July of the same year, a plane crash in the peninsula killed all 28 people aboard. The cause of Saturday's crash remains under investigation, but poor visibility due to dense fog is considered a likely factor. Tens of thousands of grieving and angry Israeli surged into the streets Sunday night after 6 more hostages were found dead in Gaza, chanting, "Now, now," as they demanded that Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu reached a ceasefire with Hamas to bring the remaining captives home. The mass outpouring appeared to be the largest such demonstrations in 11 months of war, and protesters said it felt like a possible turning point, although the country is deeply divided. Israel's largest trade union, the Histadrut, further pressured the government by calling a general strike for Monday, the first since the October 7 Hamas attack that started the war. It aims to shut down or disrupt major sectors of the economy, including banking, healthcare, and the country's main airport. Ceasefire negotiations have dragged on for months. Many blame Netanyahu for failing to reach a deal, whose opinion polls show a majority of Israel's favor. But the Prime Minister also has significant support for his strategy of total victory against Hamas, even if a deal for the hostages has to wait. Thousands of people, some of them weeping, gathered Sunday night outside Netanyahu's office in Jerusalem. In Tel Aviv, the hostages' relatives marched with coffins to symbolize the toll. We really think that the government is making this decision for its own conservation and not for the lives of the hostages, and we need to tell them stop, said Shlomit Hakuhet, a Tel Aviv resident. 3 of the 6 hostages found dead, including an Israeli American, who were reportedly scheduled to be released in the first phase of ceasefire proposal discussed in July. This fueled fury and frustrations among the protesters. Nothing is worse than knowing that they could have been saved, said Dana Lotali. Sometimes it takes something so awful to set people up and get them out into the streets. Three people were found dead after a small plane crashed into a row of townhouses Saturday morning in a neighborhood east of Portland, setting the homes ablaze, authorities told Katu TV. Officials earlier in the day had said that the plane was carrying 2 people and that at least 1 resident had been unaccounted for. Photos and videos published by KGW TV in Portland showed one of the townhomes engulfed in flames with black smoke poured out of the adjoining houses. Gresham Fire Chief Scott Lewis said that the fire had spread to at least 4 of the homes, displacing up to 6 families. He said 2 people were treated at the scene, but he didn't describe the type or severity of injuries. The Federal Aviation Administration identified the aircraft as a twin-engine Cessna 421C, which it says went down around 10:30 a.m. near Chandel Airport, about 30-minute drive east of Portland. As the plane went down, it knocked over a pole and power lines, causing a separate brush fire in a nearby field, according to Multnomah County Sheriff's Office. The plane was split into multiple parts as it crashed in a residential area in the city of Fairview, which is home to about 10,000 people. Lewis said that the first call about the fire came from staff at the Chandel Airport's control tower, who saw a thick plume of smoke rising in the air. But Lewis said that initial reports indicated there was no mayday, no call for emergency from the aircraft itself before it crashed. The National Transportation Safety Board is leading the investigations into the crash. The agency has sent 2 investigators to the site of the crash who will document the wreckage, spokesperson Peter Knudson said. He did not release further details about the crash. The website for the Port of Portland, which oversees general aviation and marine operations in the Portland area, describes Chandel Airport as a flight training and recreational airport. Israeli Finance Minister Bezalel Smotrich on Sunday asked Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu to order a broad counter-terrorism campaign throughout Judea and Samaria, just hours after 3 police officers were shot dead by Palestinian terrorists near Hebron. I would like to address the Prime Minister, my colleagues in the Cabinet, and the Minister of Defense. We are one step away from October 7th in Judea and Samaria. We have the opportunity to do what we failed to do in Gaza on the night between October 6 and 7, he said. To restore barriers, free ourselves of the security concept, and to strike terrorism with a hard blow. Gaza, Lebanon, and Judea and Samaria are part of the same Iranian chalk ring that seeks to destroy the state of Israel, stated Smotrich. We are proving in Gaza that there is a military solution to terror. We must prove this here in Judea and Samaria and in Lebanon against Hezbollah. One point, one front, one war, and with the help of God, one strong, determined, and victorious peace, the right-wing minister concluded. The 3 police officers were killed in a drive-by shooting on Sunday morning near Tarkumiyah, some 7.5 miles northwest of Hebron. Israel Defense Forces soldiers initiated a search for the terrorists who opened fire from a vehicle at a police car on Route 35 and then fled on foot. Roads in the area were closed to traffic, and Israeli security forces were preparing to launch a raid on nearby Arab village of Idna. On Friday, Palestinian car bombers wounded 3 Israelis in 2 separate attacks in the Gus and Jion regions of Judea. The IDF believers says that the 2 terrorists, both from Hebron, coordinated their attacks. Over the weekend, an IDF soldier was killed and 3 others wounded during clashes with Hamas terrorists in Jenin in northern Samaria. In the first half of 2024, Judea and Samaria saw more than 500 Arab terrorists attack each other on average, according to figures Rescuers Without Borders, Hajjala, Judea and Samaria, published on August 1st in the first 6 months of this year. First responders recorded 3,272 acts of terrorism in the region, including 1,868 cases of rock throwing, 456 attacks with Molotov cocktails, 299 explosive charges, and 109 shootings. Terrorists have killed 14 people and wounded more than 155 others in Judea and Samaria regions since the start of the year, the group said. That's all from us tonight, and we thank you for joining our program.